All righty, everybody. Welcome to Talking Real Estate with Champions Real Estate Team here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate Company. Here on every Wednesday at 12, we kind of get together and talk about what's gone on in the real estate market over the last week. I'm just going to give you the rundown of how the market's doing. My name is Mark Wayner II with the Champions Real Estate Team here. Joining us today, we have Rich Howdle with the Champions Real Estate Team. And as always, we have Russ Williams with Arbor Bank. He'll be kind of touching base with us with regards to what's going on in the mortgage industry over the last week, kind of where rates are sitting and all that kind of fun stuff. If there's anything else that we need to be aware of. So jump right into it. Take a look at what's going on in the market with our graphic here. So comparative to last week, we had 448 new listings this last week. New contracts written was about 340, sold homes about 528. So in perspective to what it was the last Wednesday, we had 399 new listings the week prior, and then about the same amount of new contracts written, and sold homes are pretty relative. So what I'm kind of seeing in the marketplace here is, we haven't seen as many of the new contracts being written. So our buyer activity is kind of steady. We've had some more homes come on the market, those that are kind of just jumping in as we get before the holiday season here. So when you think about homes that are going on the market right now, they're going to be hopefully closing by Halloween or getting into that November timeframe, getting in before the holiday season. I think that's kind of a goal of a lot of buyers and sellers, is to get wrapped up before we get into when the snow starts flying. So I personally met with a couple sellers talking about getting the homes ready. And that's kind of our goal, is to get rocking and rolling before we get into the winter season. And typically that's when, it slows down a little bit in the real estate market. But I think as we move forward here, we still have a lot of pent up buyer demand out there. So as you kind of look at those numbers, we're seeing houses come on the market and our contracts are staying the same. But, when we look at it's basically kind of an ever turning cycle, is we're never getting higher than that about 2,200 homes on the market because these buyers keep buying them. So, as they're coming on, they're going off just as quick. So, I think that's a good thing for sellers and buyers alike, that we're getting good prices on both sides. And with the interest rates staying low, you can still keep a mortgage payment, a monthly payment where you want to be, and ultimately we always call for our clients and kind of get an average of what the utilities are for those properties. So you kind of have a good idea, what your all in, monthly payments are going to be, with the gas, water, electric. And then even if you're looking at your internet and stuff like that, make sure you have all that information as soon as possible for you. Jump in, kind of take a look, kind of touch on this a little bit, but look at the trend graphics report here. So kind of what I was talking about is down here in the lower left-hand corner. When we talk about pended, that's the number of contracts written. So we basically had from September 1 of this month to now about 820 homes. And then from that same period in August, we had about 1,000. So we're down about 20% in contracts written from this time last year, or this time last month. But when we take a look at overall from last year, we're up 12%. So what that's kind of telling me, like I kind of said, that carousel where homes are coming on the market, buyers are jumping on them. So people are like, well, there's nothing out there to buy. Well, there are. You just got to be ready to rock and roll. And that's getting in touch with Russ and getting your financing in order. Or if you're even thinking about even into the fall months, even into the spring, now is the time, getting the houses out there. You're not going to have as much competition. So you might get a little bit more for your house. But then from a buyer perspective, you may be looking at it that, hey, some of the buyers are going to go on the sidelines and look at that aspect of it, that, as we come into the election, coming up in 2 months, I think that's always some uncertainty that people have, that, you don't know who's going to get in office, and it doesn't really matter, from a real estate perspective, the life, world's still going to go on. But you can basically be out there competing in those competitions that, as we see that we only had 330 new contracts written. This time last month, we were at 400, new contracts written. So you're having less competition. You may be against multiple offers, but you're still not going to maybe overpay for that home. And that's what we do here at the Champions Real Estate Team, is basically educate you on a good, solid offer, that's going to compete in the marketplace, but not necessarily overpay. But from our seller's perspective, price you to, maximize your proceeds, basically what you're going to make from that sale in the shortest amount of time. So that's kind of just the 30,000 foot view of what's going on here in the Omaha marketplace. Like we try to keep you up to date on everything that's going on. But as you can see here, for those number crunchers, this is a good diagram that you can kind of take a look at. If you want this sent to you, we can send it to you, email it to you. Just reach out to us here at Champions Real Estate Team. You can give me a call, text 402-672-7670, or reach out to us on our Facebook Champions page. There you can message us, and any one of us here on the team can get that information in your hands through that aspect of it. But yeah, let's jump into with Russ and kind of see what's going on in the mortgage industry. If there's anything wild and crazy that we haven't heard about over the last couple of weeks. So, Russ, how's things going for you? All right, you're muted. Try mute, then that can't hit you.
Now?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. I got to tell you, Mark, I feel like I'm a broken record. We've seen interest rates hold very steady for yet another week. And by and large, that's a function of the Federal Reserve Bank spending a tremendous amount to buy mortgage bond debt. The Fed meets today, actually, to begin their every 6-week two-day open market committee meeting. And we don't expect, obviously, any change in their interest rate, short-term interest rate profile. But certainly we'll be paying attention. Everybody will be paying attention to what they say. It's a little bit like for the older folks that are on Facebook, the old, when EF Hutton talks, people listen. It's the same thing here with the Fed. So they'll be listening to find out if there's any change in what the Fed is saying from their last meeting. In the event, for example, the Fed does change their rhetoric in some way, shape, or form, it's widely expected that if there is any kind of an appetite change for investors who are buying bonds that are keeping these interest rates so low, the Fed will probably just adjust their strategy as well to try to keep interest rates moving in the similar range to what we're seeing right now. Obviously, COVID is still in the order of the day. We don't know exactly how long it's going to continue and what the impact will be economically yet. Certainly, hospitality businesses are seeing some challenges, and I don't want to get too deep into the weeds with economics, but mortgage rates are expected to stay in this range for a good period of time. Having said that, certainly it is a good time to buy a home. You're going to have more borrowing power now than you've ever had. It's also a good time to refinance. And what I'd encourage everybody who watches this video to do, who is looking at refinancing, ask your loan officer to, at the same time they're working up numbers for a refinance, to kind of project out how much purchasing power you might have. You might be surprised to find that you might be able to get into that home that you wanted to at today's rates and at today's prices, as opposed to what the price and rates might be a year, 2, 3, 4 years down the road. So anything else you'd like me to add there?
I think that's a perfect thing. I even just got a phone call today from a potential buyer that's looking to buy investment properties here that they live out of state. In the state they live in, they're just kind of like, hey, there's a good opportunity in Omaha, Nebraska, to jump on some homes that are great value, but they're looking at the rental market that they're able to invest here in the heartland, in Omaha, because of how strong the city is, and in our, we're relatively conservative. We don't see huge swings, from appreciation to depreciation in that aspect of it, and they can basically generate that passive income. So I think that's something, like you said, is that those interest rates are so favorable right now that you're even seeing some outside state money coming in, and looking at potential investing into the Omaha area. I know Rich has got some buyers that are looking for some duplexes, for that simple factor of it, that they want to grow that passive income. So, if you have anyone that's looking, has some homes that maybe in that kind of think would be a great investment property, give us a holler, that we can help, play matchmaker and set you up and with those investment properties, and even buying something. If you have a home that may be a great investment property, and like Russ said, talk to us about what your more, monthly payment may be for a little bit larger house that you want to get into, because you may not have to go in and put all those updates in, because an investor may come in, buy your house, at the market value of it. You may not necessarily get some crazy top dollar, but you're going to get a very good, price for it, and that investor can come in and do a little bit of updating, make it nice for someone, to come in and rent that property. So that's just something we kind of help here at Champions Real Estate Team. So I'll jump on and kind of show you some other tools that we have here on our, our championsrealestateteam.com. So as always, you can jump on here, check out the most active homes that are on the market. We can also set you up, Rich, myself, for anyone here at the team can set you up on any instantaneously searches as they come up on the MLS. It'll automatically send you those listings out there We have our home valuation tool. You kind of get a rough idea what your home's worth. We still recommend that you reach out to one of us here at the team to give you a detailed comparable market analysis, where I basically do an Excel spreadsheet, show exactly, square footages between the different houses. The home valuation tool on our website is great for a good general idea of what it is, but to actually break down on what the house is, comparative to those other homes in your neighborhood, that's something we should do for you and help you out on that aspect of it. The other thing we have here, just quick buyers and seller guides that you can download off our website. So if you're thinking about buying and selling in the near future, even as we're coming into the fall months, that's when a lot of people start thinking, oh, next spring I'm going to buy a house, or I'm going to sell my house. Well, now is the time to get a good game plan together, touch base with Russ, because maybe putting it on the market now when you have less competition out there too, can maximize your efforts and then even finding that next house. So, but appreciate everyone listening. I want to keep it short and sweet today here at Talking Real Estate with Champions Real Estate Team here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Ambassador Real Estate Company. Appreciate Russ Williams with Arbor Bank joining us today, as well as Rich Howdle with the Champions Real Estate Team. So if we can help you, we'd love to do it. Love to help you out. And as always, have a great rest of the week, and we will see you next week. And if you have any questions or anything you want us to talk about, leave it in the message or in the comment section, and we'll touch base with it maybe next week or a week prior to, or we'll have an expert on, that maybe if we're not an expert in that particular area. I know we've had a radon mitigation, radon pros on before. We've had stagers on, so we can get the people here to answer those questions for you. So appreciate Russ and Rich jumping on with me today, and have a great week. The weather's supposed to be nice, and it sounds like Husker football's at the moment is back in business for the near future, as long as we all can keep them healthy and all that good stuff. So take care, and we'll chat at you soon.